Is this necessary that I should put my video on?
No.
No. Okay. So I'll put off the video and I'll put on the audio.
Okay. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you, Chandra Mohan. And thank you, your Midnight Star group. I am very pleased to be a part of your group today and be member of your group today. You can call me a member of your group today because I am now attending your meeting. Of course, you asked me to share. So thank you for giving me an opportunity to share and serve. Everybody, my friends, my name is Francisco and I'm an alcoholic. By God's grace and help that I received from this wonderful fellowship, I'm away from that first fatal drink, and thank God for Alcoholics Anonymous. Once again, thank you, members, for asking me to share. I normally would prefer to go share from the book, but just today in morning, I got a call from my friend and says, "Would you share?" I said, "Yes, if it is your group conscience, why not?" And my sponsor always told me, never say no forever, and I never say no. Although I don't like these online meetings because normally we can't see our faces, we can't see the eyes of another alcoholic. And somehow I never took a liking for the online meetings. And every time in the initial days of Corona, I was asked many times to share and I refused. And I felt ashamed about it because technologically, I mean, I didn't have the very good internet facility here and I did not know how to go to Yahoo or Blue Jeans. And thank God that the fellowship taught me that also. And today I don't refuse when I'm asked to share. So thank you once again. And let me not waste time doing all that introduction. And most of my friends know me. Just before that, I would like to, Chandra Mohan reminded me. Chandra Mohan, thank you. I'm a grateful member and I'm really grateful for all the help that you have given me when I was in Dubai. So for me and Shushma. So to attend the Asia Oceania service meet as an alternate chairperson. So I was there, but I had no other duty. By default, I was. But you gave me a lot of strength by helping me with all whatever accommodations and whatever you could help. And I'm very grateful. Thank you very much. And nice to talk to you today afternoon. We shared with each other, but a long time we have not spoken to each other. Yesterday, a few days ago, I called Prince also. Prince was not feeling well, so I was very happy to talk to him. Spoke to Mani also, Mani from Calicut. So happy that I have so many friends in Kerala. Okay, let's come back now to the topic for today. The topic for today I'm asked to share on the 12th step. So I'm sure already, as I heard from Chandra Mohan, that we are this group has been basically doing the step work. So and I had read it in the link also, working on steps. So I was not sure when he said working on steps or it's a workshop on steps. So anyway, so now I know that you are on step 12 and before I start sharing on step 12, the most important thing is that as an alcoholic, I suffered a lot from not accepting that I'm an alcoholic. So long ago, 30 years ago, I was given the message of Alcoholics Anonymous. And by the way, sorry, are you going to translate it, Chandra Mohan?
After your share, we will make a gist of your share and translate in Malayalam to those who cannot
Yeah,
follow
okay.
English.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry. I have misunderstood. Thank you. So, by not accepting, I got the message 30 years ago, but I did not accept that I'm an alcoholic. I said I'm drinking like an alcoholic, but I am not an alcoholic. So I had to suffer for 4 years and I had to pay a price. So to cut it story short, which all of us know, what is the suffering of an active alcoholic? So the suffering was so much. And I remember one member came from Bombay and he said, if you don't change your suffering, sufferings will change you. And I strongly believe in that because uh, my sufferings brought me back to Alcoholics Anonymous. 4 years I did not come to Alcoholics Anonymous, and those were the darkest years of my life. those 4 years that after getting the message of Alcoholics Anonymous, I did not come to Alcoholics Anonymous, and I suffered for those 4 years. I always say my life was like living in a tunnel all by myself. So I thank God the members of Alcoholics Anonymous came back to me, gave me the message, and the first time I started listening. When I say first time I started listening, I thank God for the slogan in the classroom: learn to listen and learn. Those days we had this slogan: learn to listen and learn. So I was not a man who would listen. If somebody told me something, I would tell him, "Yeah, I know what you're telling." So my sufferings made me listen, and by God's grace, till today, I am teachable. If anybody tells me something, I will listen. I might not agree, but I will listen, and I will also analyze, and I will. But I love to listen to AA members, and I love to utilize whatever I receive in the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. So thank God for Alcoholics Anonymous once again. And so what I was trying to say is that by not accepting, I paid a price, and that is how. Uh, I was brought because of my sufferings. I came back to Alcoholics Anonymous 26 years ago on the 10th. My real date is 25th of April 1995. So by God's grace, I'm away from that first drink and enjoying my sobriety. When we talk about 12, step 12. Before that, I actually wanted to share about what my sponsor used to say, and Chandra Mohan knows my sponsor then was our Harry, and may his soul rest in peace. He always used to say that the 12 steps have 200 words, well chosen words. And I went back home and I started counting the words, and I found 200 well chosen words. And we know when we say well chosen words, the first step only and the first word only starts with V. By myself, I could not do anything. When I took your help, the help of the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous, I was able to remain away from that first drink. So y'all gave me the strength, y'all gave me the hope, and your experience helped me because I was also suffering the same way. So I thank God that I started listening for the first time in my life, and that I was trying to put whatever I was listening, was trying to put into action. And that is what I was told. Action is the magic word. So when we all know, I will not waste time on talking on the steps, but when I read the words, why I'm sharing about the words, 200 well chosen words, is when I talk about the words in the 12 step, so very well written there. Having had a spiritual awakening, very, very clearly, right, the 12th step is saying, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, as the result of these steps, we try to carry this message to the alcoholic and practice these principles in all our affairs, all our affairs. So well chosen words. I honestly believe that the divine guidance was given to our co-founder Bill W. to write this wonderful steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, the wonderful program of Alcoholics Anonymous. And the book says very, very clearly, the joy of living is the theme of the AA 12 steps. And action is the keyword. So that is what I was told. Action is the magic word, I was told. And here the book says action is the keyword. So our 12 steps is just that it is the theme of that 12 steps is the joy of living. So that is what the book says, and I love what is written in the books because I can talk for hours together on my experience, strength, and hope in Alcoholics Anonymous, or even outside my before coming to Alcoholics Anonymous. But what is written in the books is the most important thing, and the words there, not only in my 12 step, but in the if you open the 12 and 12 book or our big book, I really love the things that are written there. And my problem with me is my memory is very short. I read, but I forget. It doesn't last too long. So every time I need to practice and rework, reread the books. And today morning when I was asked to share, but there was so much of work today. All of a sudden I had plackers and I had to go to the doctor and very tiring day. So I really didn't get time to read much. Doesn't matter or to revise rather. What's important is that I have learned this thing, that is the joy of living is the theme of the 12 steps, AA 12 steps, and action is the keyword. So therefore, we need to help the alcoholic who still suffers or is in distress. So most important is that what that is exactly what the 12th step is saying. Having had a spiritual awakening, without that, I try to do it. And I remember Harry and myself going to do 12 step work with it was only my third or fourth day of my entry into Alcoholics Anonymous. I did not drink, but I went with Harry and we did the 12 step work. And I remember my 12 step first 12 step call that we had gone to. Harry was sharing, and immediately I jumped in. In 3 days, what can I learn in Alcoholics Anonymous? I could not learn anything. I did not know what is love. I did not know what is giving message. I did not know anything. But I was so happy that I was away from the first drink and I had a family, new extended family. So when we went for a 12-step call with my sponsor, he started sharing with the new prospect, and I didn't give him time to share. Immediately I intervened and I started sharing about my the pink cloud stage or whatever you want to call it. In 3 days you cannot get pink cloud stage also, but I was so happy to interfere and share in the with that new prospect. And I remember Harry very well clearly saying, Francisco, shut your mouth, sit down and listen, in front of the newcomer. And I thank God that he said that, because I learned later on what is my job, why was with my sponsor for a 12-step call, and why it is important to give the message. And the joy that I got from that 12-step call, I cannot express it in words. I cannot express it in money. I cannot express it in any way. The joy that I felt of love for this new prospect, and not only that, it taught me so much, because when I came into Alcoholics Anonymous, I had multiple problems in the sense, not other addictions, but family problem, which was a very big family problem, and as I was undergoing a divorce and all that. So what's important thing is, by then I was not undergoing divorce, but I had a problem with my ex-wife. Later on, I went. That is another story altogether. But I had a big problem in my life. So life was unmanageable, like what it is said in the first step. So life was very unmanageable. And I remember going for this call, and I was wondering. I said, "Oh my God!" I was crying about my problems, and see this guy, this new prospect. He has much more problems than me, and he is like he doesn't know what to do. But I am here with so many problems, and I know today these members are here with me to help me and to guide me to handle my situation. So that was the strength that I got, and I was so much filled with so much of joy. So most important is that today I know that we need to help the alcoholic who still suffers or is who is in distress. So what we have to do is, when I am going for a 12-step call with my sponsor, or in the initial days, I was wondering why we are doing so much of work trying to give this message to these guys. These guys are not getting sober. And what was my expectation, that, oh my God, this fellow has to be grateful to us. No, today I know that we had to give without expecting anything. We are supposed to give without expecting any rewards. That is the most important thing that I understood in doing the 12-step work, after doing a few 12-step calls. And the joy that I was getting, that is why we say, freely we have received, freely we have to give. That is the core of our this 12-step importance of this 12 step. Freely it was given to me. Today I have to give it freely. Now the most important thing is, as I shared, I was only 3-4 days before in my sobriety those days, 3-4 days only away from that first drink. And what could I give? Couldn't give nothing. So that is why the step is very clear. That doesn't mean that because I am 3-4 days, I should not do any 12-step calls. It doesn't say so. I have to go with somebody else. I have to take, and I was always going with my sponsor. That was the most important thing for me. So if I was wrong, he was always there to correct. He was always there to guide me. But the most important thing are the words in the 12-step program that says, having had a spiritual awakening. So that is why it is so important. So we have not only to give, we are actually practicing the 12 steps in our daily life, so that we find emotional sobriety. when we are going to do a 12-step call, we are actually practicing our program, the whole program, because that is what the 12 steps says, having had a spiritual awakening. Of course, for a new member, if there is any newcomer here, he might be wondering what is this guy talking, or what are these guys talking about spiritual awakening, and it might be confusing to them. Naturally it would, because even I never, even on my fourth day or fifth day of sobriety, when I went to do this 12-step call, I never heard the word spiritual awakening, although it was being read. Today Chandra Mohan has asked to read that, how it works. Of course it was read in Malayalam, so I don't understand Malayalam, but I know it has been read. The 12 steps were read, the 12 traditions were read, so daily reflection was read. So there it was very, very clearly said about a spiritual awakening. But for me, I did not know anything about spiritual awakening when I came in new also. But I did go with my sponsor for all the 12-step calls, and what it gave me a lot of strength. I was not only doing that, I was even staying with some of the new prospects that were being brought to Alcoholics Anonymous, had to be hospitalized for 3 4 days. So I used to stay with them the whole night, sleep with them in the hospital, and that all gave me that so much of strength, that today, by God's grace, I am strong only because of them. That is, many times I share about this. In my initial days, I think even first 3 years, I never bothered up about working the steps. It was only service, 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 service. All the time it was service. And I'm sure that, see, this service that I was doing with the help of my sponsors and other members, as it kept me away from that first drink. It might not have made me spiritually awakened me or made me a very nice man. And I remember, even in group conscience meetings, I was always arguing and trying to prove that I'm right. So this awakening also came only after about 3 years, when I started working on my steps. So the steps are the most important thing. That is the only thing we have actually. That is the program that we have. Without the program, if I just go to meetings, I cannot remain sober. I will be given a lot of help by the members who will give me their experience, strength, and hope. I also have experience. I also have strength and hope, but that was not good enough when I was trying to do it all by myself. But when I took your help and I was trying to do what you all did, I was able to be away from that first fatal drink. And what then I learned from you all was to work the steps, and that is what kept me away and happily away from. Now what's important is that there are spiritual awakening. When we talk about spiritual awakening, uh, there are so many types of spiritual awakening, and each member has his own way of spiritual awakening actually. So the varieties of spiritual awakening, and the book also talks about, we have different individuals in our fellowship. So different individuals have different types of awakenings. But what is important is there is something common in everybody's awakening. So what we find that every member who has really worked a step, who has had a awakening, and his awakening might not be the same as mine or same as Chandra Mohan's, but he has received an awakening. But what is important is that awakening has something in common. And what is that something in common? What is that? That is what I need to know, and that is what I have to be aware of. That he has now become able to feel, to do, to feel, to believe that which he could not do before on his unaided strength and resource alone. So today, after having had a spiritual awakening, today I can do things, I can feel things, I can believe in things, I can understand things. All these things was not possible when I was drinking and trying to fight, or fight with my family members, society, feeling that these people don't understand me. Nothing was going. Today I can do that. And why I can do that? Because I have this wonderful 12-step program. I have tried to practice it, and it has, in short, he has been granted a gift. That is what the book says. Now, I have been granted a gift. What is that gift? Which amounts to a new state of consciousness and being. This gift, which is given to me after working the 12 steps, is this gift of a new state of consciousness and being. So that is what the most important thing. The real sense, he has been transformed. So from what I was and what I became after working the steps and what I am today, because of the working of the steps is what is the important transformation that happened to me in Alcoholics Anonymous. So today, it is as good as the book, like what the book says is that now I possess a degree of honesty, tolerance, unselfishness, peace of mind, and love. All this is possible because I have started working the steps with the help of my sponsor, and I have today have this degree. I'm a BCom student, wanted to be a chartered accountant, could not be because of my alcoholism. I failed in my entrance exam, and after that, I never pursued because alcoholism already crept in. So today, he has made himself. I have made myself ready for this gift of rather the degree that I am possessing today with the help of the wonderful fellowship is degree of honesty, tolerance, unselfishness, peace of mind, and love. All these things meant nothing to me when I was practicing drinking alcoholic. These sort of things. Well, for me, love was only sex, nothing else. All that I knew about love was sex. But today I know love and I know anger, I know hatred, I understand these feelings, and I know how badly I've been hurt in my childhood days and how badly I suffered during my drinking days. So today it is these feelings are different. Today life is becoming manageable because I have started working the program of Alcoholics Anonymous in my life. Alcoholics Anonymous has of course three legacies. And the important thing is we are talking about the 12 step, but we have a three legacies program. So sometimes people refer to it as 12 steps have 12 principles, 12 traditions have 12 principles, and 12 concepts of 12 principles. So 36 principles of Alcoholics Anonymous has made me a better person. I might not be able to practice all of them properly, but of course the awareness and the practicing of that, as it was like rubbing the rust on the gate. Gate पे जब ये rust होता है, if you are going to paint it every year after monsoon, you have to paint it, clean it up and paint it, remove the rust, put anti-rust paint or primer or whatever you want to call it, and after that you need to paint it. So Alcoholics Anonymous's program has done that to me. I was full of rust. They put the sandpaper and they told me, and then they put primer, and now today with the 12-step program, I have been put nicely painted in gold paint or whatever silver paint you want to call it. So I'm so happy today that it today my life is different because of the awakening that I received. Most important for a newcomer today, as we have already said, and the 12, 12 and 12 steps is unless I accept that I am powerless over alcohol, or unless I put off that fire which was there in my life, I could not go forward in my recovery. Most another important thing was the unmanageability part of it. And today I see in Alcoholics Anonymous after 26 years, as already Chandra Mohan shared, that I love to go around. I have roamed around whole of India and abroad also, and I see in most of the meetings where I feel so sorry when the newcomer says, "Yes, I'm an alcoholic," but they don't accept that the life is unmanageable. So this part of it, that is why the book says this is the only step we can take 100%. And how do I take 100% of the first step? Is by accepting my both accepting my powerlessness and accepting my unmanageability. Now, the moment I accept my powerlessness, then I need power. So there comes the step two. So came to believe in a power greater than myself. That is the most important thing. Would restore me to sanity. I was insane. So today I know. And when I came in, I didn't want to hear this word God and all that. And thank God it was put the God of your understanding. So I wanted to become a priest, and my brother and myself had gone together to the seminary to become priest. My elder brother was accepted. I was told to come back after 2 years. But he became a priest. I became an alcoholic, and I'm happy about it. Happy about it because today my life is such a wonderful life with the help of this wonderful program that my life has been transformed. And it is my, this awakening that I've got today. This is what I was actually looking in the bottle. This life I was looking for in the bottle, and I never found it. we There is a nice saying in English. I was drowning my sorrows in the bottle. I can share very confidently today. My sorrows never got drowned. Even till today, after 26 years being in the fellowship, my sorrows are still floating in the bottle. And there is no problem. Today, I have the program to handle my problems. And I have my fellowship, I have my sponsor, I have different instruments given to me by the fellowship, prayer, meditation, all sorts of things are given where I can be able to handle my problems with the help of the program. So what's important is the other part of the, for me, when it comes to the 12th step, okay, let us, I'll come to that later on. You told me 40 minutes, so I have already taken, I think, 10, 20 minutes. I have another 20 minutes, so I will try to. Most important thing is because of the newcomers, I've already shared about step 1 and step 2 in the short form. I mean, you all have done it on a better basis. So important thing is that the third step, once I found that power greater than myself would restore me to sanity, that was the most important thing. And I was explained, my sponsor said to me, you are an insane man. You have to be restored to sanity. And and so a simple example he gave me, that if a car met with an accident, you take it to a denter, and that we don't throw the car out. You just got a dent on the car, so you take it to the denter, he will bang it and put some primer and put the paint on, and it looks as if it was the same brand new car. You sometimes you can't even make out that it had a dent. So in the same way, I was restored back to life, and that's the most important thing. So when I have been restored to life, and there is somebody who is greater than myself, so I had to, most importantly, the third step comes in here, and where I had to give my will and my life. And because I had tried to live my will and my life by my own ways, my will, it was always my will. I'm the youngest child in the family, but I used to tell my mother, you have to listen to me now. So I loved her most, but I used to fight with her drinking. So I remember everything that I wanted only had to happen the way I wanted. It was never their way. It was my way or the highway. It is what they say. So my will, today I know with your help, you all told me self will run right. So I accepted that. My will took me nowhere. So today my life and my will, the most important thing is my life and my will. Those two things had to be given to this higher power. And today he runs my life. And a simple thing that I do today is I practice these three steps very easily in the morning. The first thing I do is get up, go on my knees, tell my maker, I'm an alcoholic. Please keep me away from the first drink, keep me away from cigarette, keep me away from anger. That is the most dangerous thing. The big book talks about resentment. Resentment is a number one offender for the alcoholic. It affects an alcoholic more than anybody else. So I don't want to get. I remember, why did I go back to drinking? Because of anger, not because I enjoyed it. I stopped drinking many times. Every time I was angry, I would go back to drink. So the book says very clearly about it. So the third step was very important, that today whatever happens, I don't react. I try not to react as much as possible. Since in the morning I've handed over my will and my life over to the care of God. I don't want to take it back. It is like it used to happen first few days in my life, where I used to say talk about third step, but I used to take back my do whatever I wanted to do in my life. So it is like a child who has broken his toys and he gives it to his father to fix it, and he, before the father can fix it, he grabs it again from his father and breaks it. So I used to do this, give my life and grab it back again from my higher power. So I learned slowly in 90 days, in 1 year, 2 years, I started understanding that yes, my will is not going to work. However clever, the book talks about that, however clever we might be in other aspects of our life, as far as alcohol is concerned, we have been strangely insane. And my life was strangely insane whenever the alcohol got into my life. So I started understanding the importance of the third step in my life. Without that, I knew I could not go further. And then after that was important was to find out what the mess I had done, what an emotional turmoil I had in my life. So the fourth step helped me to do that. Going through my fourth step, writing down clearly whatever I remembered from the beginning helped me a lot to understand what was my true color. What was my true color? What type of a man I was? And I not just we as Catholics go for confession. It is not necessary for us to write down, but here I had to write down. I had to write down because the book says that it has to be in black and white. And once I wrote down, I could not deny it because I am the one who is writing it. So I had to then, importantly, most important thing is not sleep over it when I knew, because I knew these things, but I was not accepting this. Moment I wrote it down, I accepted it. Then the program says I had to talk to another human being and to God. So I believe strongly that my sponsor is the next better human being I can talk to doing my fifth step and God. Today, I believe my sponsor is like a satellite for me between God and myself. There is my sponsor. That is my belief, and I know I many times don't understand the will of God, and many times I have to call my sponsor, and I know what my sponsor says is definitely the will of God for me. So I that is my belief, and I try to believe that, and it works. It has worked many times. Many times also I don't agree with my sponsor. Sometimes I feel what the hell he thinks of himself. I used to think about my father also the same way. But today, no. Today, I understand that my sponsor will never misguide me. My sponsor will always guide me on the right path. He is the only source that I who really knows my true colors, and he's the only right person to help me in whatever difficulties. So, excuse me, my throat is dry, so I'm just having a sip of. So, so these principles, practicing these principles in all our affairs is a matter comes after the 12th step. So what is important is after the fifth step, I had to get ready, uh, entirely ready. That is what are the words there. Entirely ready to have God removed. I could not remove this, and I cannot remove this till today. So I am only getting myself ready, having known this already, written down all my character defects. I'm only getting ready for God to remove them. And what happens in seventh? Again, he says, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. What are my shortcomings and what are character defects? Most of us know. There is no difference in between them. There is this. It's the same thing. I remember having read somewhere or in one somebody sharing. Bill W was asked why it is written character defects in step 6 and why it is written character what is that shortcomings in step 7. And Bill W said that it is nothing, that I didn't want to repeat the same words. So it is the same thing that it is there. I understand today my shortcomings are the thing that I keep on repeating, especially my anger, my lust. This keeps on coming every day, 24 hours of the day. So that is where I have to be careful of. So that is where I have to be humble and very humbly ask God to remove my shortcomings. So most important is the step 8. Step 8 is already the list is there. If I have not forgotten somebody's name, I have to add their list and start working on cleaning up all the mess that I have made, making amends. And the right person to tell you when to make your amends is your sponsor. That is coming on step 9. So and the most important word there is that except when to do so on the step 9. Just we don't just go and make amends. The making amends should not be hurt another person, because I want to make my amends. I will not go and hurt another person, except when to do so would injure them or others. So that is the important part of it to the step 9. And step 10, of course, again tells us continue to take personal inventory. When we were wrong, promptly admitted it. So this is my daily living. If I do these steps on a daily basis, I am surely going to live a good spiritual life. There is no doubt about it. So the importance of practicing this program, there is, and all you guys have told me, my members who have come before me, you want to call them seniors, you want to call them old timers, you want to call them, what do you call that? Senior, not senior citizens,
Long
uh,
timers.
long timers, and there is another bleeding deacons, and they are not bleeding deacons that I want to follow, but they are the old elder statesmen. That is what I want. The elder statesmen. So these people are the people who have practiced the programs in their lives, and I try to follow them. They are the real. They are the real voice of the fellowship. So they guide me, and whenever I don't know what to do, they are these people who guide me and and make me follow. So taking daily inventory, the 10th step is very important. Then what is the most important part of it is the how to leave my program on a daily basis is prayer and meditation. I have to do this on my daily basis. If I don't do this, I will not enjoy my sobriety. And knowing God is not enough. I have learned the power of God. I have learned this new friend I have found in my life, and my step 2 and step 3. That is not enough. So I had to grow my And the words there itself are beautiful. Sought true prayer and meditation to improve my conscious contact with God as I understand Him, praying only for the knowledge of His will for me and the power to carry that out. So, His will, what is His will? And a conscious contact with Him is the most important part of it. So, these are the things that will only lead me to that. That is only when I will get a spiritual experience, awakening after having done this. And that is what the 12 steps says very clearly. After having done this, you will get a spiritual awakening. So there is nothing much to say about it. So there is a lot in the book, the 12 and 12. If you read, there is so much and so well explained. Most of us think that otherwise that why I need to do all these 12 steps and all that. First step and second step, first step and just giving the message is enough. And the book refers to them as two steppings. People who are doing only two steps, like accepting that they are powerless over alcohol, and then accepting that going to give the message, carrying the message of Alcoholics Anonymous. So that is not good for us. And it is okay for some time, till the time we are in our pink cloud stage, and then after some time we start understanding that this is I'm doing everything. I'm going to meetings. I'm accepting I'm an alcoholic. I'm going to regular meetings 2 years now, 3 years, but I am not happy from within. I'm giving message to other people. I'm doing a lot of things, and yet I'm not happy. So that pink cloud stage goes away, and then you start feeling the sort of depression. That you have not had a drink, you are not drunk, and but you don't want to drink also, but you are not happy from within. So that is why we need to work the steps. The moment the joy, in the beginning, and on the 12 and 12 also, it is the joy of living is the theme of our 12-step program. So most importantly, to carry the message of Alcoholics Anonymous to the still suffering alcoholic is what we need to work on. And practicing these principles again, that automatically this practicing all these principles in all our affairs comes in, because I am leaving the steps. It is not, I can never say I have done the steps and I finished. ऐसा नहीं होता. I have to leave the steps on a daily basis. I have to leave the 12-step program. Every day, if I have remember somebody I have not made amends, I have to make them amends. If I otherwise, it will not give me peace of mind. I will not feel sleepy. Everything will emotionally disturbed. So all sorts of things come in. So every day when I start practicing this program, my life naturally will change. Naturally my practicing the principles of the program will come in my life. And this is what we can see. I don't have to say. There are so many senior members in our uh, elderly statesmen in our fellowship. We can see how cool, calm, and how nicely they come to the fellowship. Even if they don't say anything, they are so, their face is shining, and we want what they have. I wanted what we all had when I came in new. And I thank God that I started listening to you all. I thank God I started practicing the program in my life, putting it into action. And today I am enjoying sobriety. If the book talks about joyous, happy, and free, today that is what I have. And I am happy, joyous, and free. It doesn't mean that I don't have difficulties in my life. I have a lot of difficulties. And today, what is important is to face it. I am not afraid. I face the problems that I come to. I don't run away from my problems. And if I cannot handle it alone, I have my sponsor. I have the fellowship. I can easily call somebody, whomever I know, because I keep going around. I meet so many people. I know their stories. If anything similar, I can always ask them, how did you overcome this problem? Please help me. I need to be humble and ask for help. Asking for help, I could never do as an alcoholic. Today, I don't feel ashamed. Asking for help is not a shame. Asking for help is such a good thing that even small things today, yesterday I had a problem with my car. I told my nephew, will you please help me? I need your help. He's my nephew. I could have told him, you please bring your car and come here and pick me up. I could have told him that. No, I said, please, can you help me? I need your help. Please, can you come and pick me up? My car is in the garage. So he says, yes, please come. I'm coming. Give me 5 minutes. He came. And then he said, told me, you want, I have my driver. I'll give you my car. And this, he had two cars. So today I have to be humble and I have to ask for help. If I do, I can I first of all, I will be happy, and the world will be a better place to live in. Thank you for giving me a chance to share. And I don't know if I have done justice to your topic, but I tried my best within the stipulated time. So thank you. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cisco. Thank you very much for
Thank you, Francisco.
Francisco.
Oh, money, money.
That is money. Money, Francisco. You
Yeah,
know,
I
few
know.
people in.
Yes, yes, money, money. I already shared about money.
Yeah, yeah,
His voice is.
yeah. Okay.
Thank you, money.
Okay. Thank you, Francisco, for your awesome share. Touching almost all the steps in a very short span of time, in a very nutshell. Thank you very much. The group is